We're back. I'm tired. You tired?
Not as tired as you.
I'm super tired. What am I doing?
We're opening up my Christmas tree. I've been seeing all these pretty white trees, so I wanted to get one that's all white, not black.
So?
From treetopia.com.
Nah, don't be giving them no shout out. They didn't pay it.
FedEx delivered it late, even. So you know.
So last week you came to my house and we went to church and we had the pastor pray over your swelling.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Saturday.
Yes.
What happened Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all of it tonight?
Well, I think it was by Monday. So Sunday my swelling was not bad. And then by Monday, I think I was like super flat. Really flat. Yeah, I was like super flat. So we're thinking that the prayers and all that good energy worked wonders.
Yeah.
And then towards the middle of the week I ate some tamales with cheese and I blew back up. So now I'm thinking I just shouldn't be eating hella cheesy food.
Did we have anything cheesy this weekend? Yeah.
What?
You got some of my burrito yesterday.
Oh yeah, but these tamales were like filled with cheese.
Oh, okay.
So it was like literally pretty much a cheese tamale versus a little bit of cheese. So I feel pretty good right now. Pretty flat. The only thing is the left side, I keep getting this sharp pain. But I did find this video on YouTube this week where the doctor talked about when you've had extreme weight loss that you could swell more. And that's something that, ooh, okay. And that's something that had I known, I would have at least mentally prepared me for it, but I think I didn't watch those videos because they were older and they looked boring and I wanted to see like all the cute girls with their transformation stories and I wasn't looking at some of those other YouTubes, especially the older looking ones. But yeah, I don't think you need that. So yeah, this one was like a lot older. I'll find it.
This is number 2.
And send it to you so we can figure out where you can put it on here. But I wasn't looking at it because they were boring looking. But in hindsight, I wish I would have. Because had I known, oh, if you've lost like a ton of weight, you could swell more. I mean, it makes sense.
3. Part 3 goes at the bottom, 2 middle, 1 at top. That's the only thing that logically makes sense. Yeah, I'm putting together a tree and I'm not looking at directions. That's what I do.
But he puts together his mom's tree like all the time, right?
This goes at the top, so 3 is the top. That has to be the top.
Yeah, that looks like the top.
So this is the top,
3.
so that's 2. So then this is 1 for the bottom to fan out. It's like a flower. Okay.
Oh, you bought the flowers.
Yeah. I bought her 2 plants before. And what happened to the plants?
They got these little worms. They're called nematodes, I think. And so I started noticing like these little like a worm here or there, like a teeny tiny one, when I would move the plant. And I asked my aunt, because she's like went to school for plant biology, and she's like, oh, that's really bad, like try and see what they are. So I Googled it and I found out what they were, and apparently they're like, you don't want them because they will infest all the plants in your house. So I had to throw away the plants that he got me that I like cherished, because it was like, it reminds me of him when I would see it, and I love plants.
So long story short, I gotta get her some more plants. What were some things about dating that you believed? I keep hearing people or women say, or women go to these dating blogs, like this is what you should do to get a man, or this is the type of energy you should bring, or yada 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 yada.
Well, there was so many things I like. If any of my friends that are watching this will know, I literally watched and listened to all of that crap, because before Erickson, I have actually been single for over 5 years. I'd like met people over time, but it's never been like this. Like it never turned into anything. So I did like, there's a few like YouTube that I would listen to and watch, and you know, and it's, so it depends. Like some of them will say like, you know, be a bitch because they'll like you more. Is that true?
No.
And some of them say like, wait 3 months to sleep together.
Women, don't do that. Don't do that.
So you have to say the like little spiel analogy that you gave me on our first date about that.
What did I say? I do not remember.
That it's like you're walking up a hill.
Oh, got you. Oh, Lord. Oh, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be giving game away, you know? All right, so basically, I mean, I can speak for myself. So, sex to me is like a timestamp. And whatever is going on, how I feel about you when that timestamp happens, it's going to stay the same way. So, if I have sexual contact with you, but I don't have a desire to want to get to know you, once I have that sexual contact, that's where it stops. So we can continue the sexual contact. I'm just not going to have a desire to want to get to know you. Now, if we have that contact the very first time, and I'm already interested in naturally wanting to know more about you, then that's what it's going to be. I naturally want to get to know more about you. So it's not necessarily about waiting a certain amount of days, because anytime someone says you need to wait X amount of days, where there's just a number that they put out, no matter who it is, then I run, because I feel like that person is not an authentic person. They're not living in the moment. They don't go with the flow. They don't allow the relationship to progress naturally. They are waiting for a day because a book told them to do it. And most likely they're going to miss out on that guy who really is into it. So it's what it is. That's me though. Somebody else might think differently, but dang, they got this thing tied in like 4,000 different ways.
So one of the there's a lot of different stuff, right, that you see, like the quotes on Instagram, and I think like some of them are probably like a wake-up call or word to me, like if he doesn't call you, it's because he doesn't want to. But I don't know if that's like always the case. Like I remember I used to wait for Erickson to call me, and sometimes I'd be sitting here like I wanted to talk to him, but he wasn't calling me, and I would be like, I'm not calling him though, because I don't want him to think he got it like that, and I'm always just gonna be like right here, you know. But I don't know.
Like for me, when we first started dating, and like a lot of the stuff she probably doesn't. We haven't talked about, so this might be the first time hearing it. I was a long time ago. I had a come to Jesus moment with myself, meaning I knew that I was 1,000% okay with being single for the rest of my life if I didn't find someone who I felt was for me. And I was being picky, but I also knew that I was being picky. So I knew that it was a possibility that I was going to be single, and I had to get used to that. So when we started talking, it's like I always kept my options open to like, maybe this might be something. But when we started talking, like in the very beginning, like I was still getting used to the idea of having to think of someone else besides myself. And I, during the week, like I didn't, like naturally, I didn't talk to women on a regular basis during the week. It just wasn't something that I always did. So when we started getting to know each other more clearly, that needed to happen, but it wasn't a thing for me yet. And I will say, women, ladies, Stephanie played this so perfectly.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah, you did. All my friends, well, not all my friends, two of my friends, I only talk to two like on a regular basis. They even say it. They were like, "You played this. You played it. It was like if it was a game of chess, you played it very smart because you gave me the opportunity to come on my own and be me 100% of the time. I really wasn't trying to talk on the phone much, but then eventually I was okay with it. Eventually, now I was like, I'll call you probably just as much as you'll call me. And like this is like every single day. Before I was like, I don't need to talk on the phone every single day. I don't have to do that. I have things to do. That was me. But I mean, with time, she allowed me to come on my own. Like she allowed me to not feel pressured and having to do it. Like you did let me know like that was important to you, but it still was, she still allowed me to be able to do it on my own, which was perfect for me because now when I just think about where I'm at now versus where I was before, like now it's like everything I do now is because I genuinely want to do it. Like I would never do something I don't want to do. I don't care. That's me. Maybe that's Leo in me. But if I don't want, if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. So you played it very well. Like you literally gave me the space I needed to grow. So,
aw,
thank you.
Well, maybe some of those like little meme things were right then.
Like which ones?
How they say like if he wants to, he will.
Yeah. If a man wants to do something, like he's gonna do it for sure. That is true. But I also can say that it's not going to work for the majority of the women because they aren't going to be as willing to not play games like you were. Like you were like, I'm not doing no stupid shit. I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to act as though I'm not into them. Like women do that. Women are consistently testing for no reason, just because of some theory that they heard on a Instagram post that was a meme. Like you didn't do that. You didn't test me. You wasn't like, you didn't make me feel like you weren't playing games. I guess that's like I've dated women in the games. Lord, the games. And it doesn't matter how old they are. Like the older they get, the more they keep playing. Like it is not it's not something that you can say that is a young woman thing. Like I don't know why. If you like somebody, let the person know. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I also think that women don't have enough opportunities to deal with rejection as men do. Like, we get rejected so much more than women. So when a woman gets rejected, or if a woman doesn't get the outcome that she wants, that she's not, she's used to not having to do that. It's like, I notice like women don't deal with that pretty well, which probably leads to the games and the, the being guarded and, trying to make overly test a man who's already shown that he is interested, you know. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. That's just me speculating, but
It might be though, because we might not get rejected, but what we get is benched. And we're like seat warmers for whenever the girl he really wants is not available.
oh, okay.
That's what I had experienced. And like I went through like a lot in these last 5 years since I've been divorced. And when I tell you like because I was married for 6 years, and so for basically 10 years I was not in the dating game at all. And then I came back to it and I was like, damn, this is what you guys are doing now out here? Like, this is a mess. People are messy out there.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want, I had no interest in that, in taking part of it. And so one thing that I did when I met Ericson that I never had done before in the past. So like when I met Ericson and I realized that I could, he could really be really perfect for me, I kind of changed how I approached the whole dating situation. Whereas before, the first thing I do is screenshot a bunch of pictures and send it to the group chat, and basically your girls will pick them apart. And then by the time you even start to get to know this person, all your friends have an opinion. And that's the one thing this time I didn't do, because I was just I don't want anybody's opinion. I want to form my own opinion.
Plugs behind you.
Oh, look how pretty. So yeah, and I never told you this either, but I never sent the pictures to the group chat. And for the most part, I did a few times, but for the most part, we would be what my group of friends would typically do is we'd be texting oh, I don't know, I haven't heard from him, or he's not calling me back or whatever. And then it kind of starts this negative energy around that person. And, by the time, I feel like it takes a lot longer to get to know somebody than you really think it takes to get to know them. So if I was doing that and having all these side discussions about him with everybody except for him, by the time I really get to know him, I have all these preconceived notions going on. So instead of getting to know really who Ericson is, I'm coming at him with these things that I've already put on him. Oh, he's just gonna ghost me like everyone else, or he's gonna do this or that. And so that's the one thing I didn't do. I was just I'm gonna go into this and let it be organic and just see if we click. And we did. I can honestly say, for me anyways, I know it took longer for him because he was used to his little happy single life forever. But I think from the first date, I was just I could see it. He really was sweet, and he it was just such a perfect first date.
Yeah, I would for me I knew at times that I was the reason why we weren't moving forward for a second, because I knew I pretty much knew that it was me. I would tell my friends, I know this is something that I don't want to do because I've been single for so long, but I also know that this is something I need. And I chose to have a mind over matter moment. And I kept telling all my friends, this is going to be mind over matter, because I know if I sabotage this situation, this is going to be one of those situations where I know down the road, that was the dumbest thing I did. So I literally was I'm going to continue to see you on a regular basis, even though that wasn't something that I even said before, I'm not doing that. I'm not traveling. I'm not. if she's gonna see me, she gotta come to me. Like I was that was me.
Wow.
Yeah. That was Mr. Me.
I mean, I can pull up the first message that you ever sent me. That's not what you said.
No. The first message was that's different because we had just met. But there comes a time when after the little initial phase is over, there's a little period where you have a choice to make. You could be like, do I want to stay to like commit through this, or am I done with this moment? And that's like the moment that I'm talking about. At that point in time is where I was like, man, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. And I think I even said to you, I was like, the distance was like a thing. I was trying to still debate whether or not like that's something I wanted to do. And then I wouldn't say it backfired on me, but the response was not what I was expecting, because I was pretty much saying like, I'm not sure if this distance is something that I want to do because of it being a long distance. You took it as, oh, he wants to see me more. That's literally how you took it. And I remember when you did it, I was like, huh, okay, so let's go with it then. And I feel like that for me helped because it blocked out all of the other distractions of all the other people or having, other conversations. Because you go online and, you meet a person online, you don't delete your profile. I'm on like 4 or 5 different profiles with hundreds of conversations, like hard to keep up with. And eventually I just deleted them one by one.
Hundreds?
Yeah.
Hundreds?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I know.
Hundreds.
Oh. Like one app was like 70 something. The other app would be like 50 something. Yeah. But I noticed that a lot of women, like on the apps, like it was just like they were looking to be entertained, meaning they wanted me to talk, ask all the questions. They weren't engaging, and that helped you stand out like a sore thumb. Like you were talking, you were engaging, you were interested. It was natural for me to gravitate towards someone who's genuinely interested in me.
We didn't even talk on the app for very long.
No, we didn't.
We never even talked on the app again after the first day.
I think we FaceTimed, didn't we?
Yeah. Because you were like, we can meet today. And I was like, let's FaceTime first.
Yeah, I did say that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that was weird. Because that never happens to me. Like, that's why I saw you. I was like, ooh, this is her. I don't know why I felt like that, but I did. I can't explain it.
So you would say when you saw me, you felt different than with those other hundreds of conversations?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm coming out here on a regular basis and putting up Christmas trees.
And I go out there on a regular basis.
Yeah, you do.
What?
And like I was telling, this is what did I say? So before, when you guys finally met us on YouTube, like we were seeing each other every weekend. You were coming to me, I was coming to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then we fast tracked to me having to be around you. Like that weekend was the first time I was around, the weekend of the surgery. That was the first time I was around you for that many days in a row.
Yeah.
That was our very first time. Usually it's a day.
We've done 2 nights before.
2 nights.
When there was like a holiday. Yeah.
At the most. So me going down there and then taking care of you, like at that to me let me know like, okay, you might be somebody that's not gonna just be gone in like 10 minutes. Like you're gonna be around. Like I don't take off work ever. Like women have never been able to get me to not go to work. Like I go to work, and I'm like, all right, well, guess I'll come to LA. Everybody was like, you gonna go to LA? I was like, yeah. He was like, people who know me were like, so you taking off work? I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, I get it. Because I don't take off work.
That's funny.
I don't do that. So.
I remember I was showing him pictures too, like from Dr. Taneja. He's like, that looks like it hurts. And I was like, you're going to come and take care of me? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, like I wasn't expecting that answer. And that was a while. And I was like, oh, he's just BSing, like, whatever. And then as we got closer, like, he's like, okay, well, what do you like? I can't come for the whole time. So then my mom came and took over after he left. But thank God he was there those first couple days because he was lifting me into bed and giving me shots in my arm. And like, my mom was not lifting me anywhere. I'll tell you that. She's smaller than me. So there was no lifting happening there.
Yeah. I think that would probably be a good fork in the road. Like you can see us before your surgery and then us after your surgery.
Nobody did see though.
But I'm talking about you. Like
yeah.
as far as like way our like before it was like it was weird. It was like we weren't in a gray area, but we there was a lot of things that wasn't established yet. And then I feel like after that there were.
Really?
Really? Really?
Really?
You just want to hear it.
So you knew that this was the best thing for you, or you knew that this is what you wanted? Me.
I feel like it's a trick question. I guess I can see how it could be different. At the time when I was mind over mattering, I knew it was the best thing I wanted, the best thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a specific time where I was like, man, like, okay, I gotta chill. I'm gonna just go out there. I kept coming out here, even though I was like, man, like this is the most commitment I've done in a while. And it was hard. I was.
And how long? It's like years, right?
No, not years. I mean, I've dated. As far as girlfriend, it's been years, but I mean, I've still dated women.
Most commitment, though. That's what I mean.
Yes.
We've all dated.
So yeah, clearly it's working out so far. So
I think so.
I think so too.
He said I'm not that bad to be around.
Oh God, you're not gonna live that one down.
No, you're not gonna live that one down.
I was like, yeah, like you're not. I don't know. Like I was like, you're not even that bad to be around. Like I don't know how I said it.
I said. He was like, we were at Cheesecake Factory eating, and the TV's in front of us, and he likes to buy infomercial things. And it was an infomercial for pots and pans. And I was like, I wouldn't even be mad if I showed up to your house and you had all brand new pots and pans. And then I said, well, if we ever move in together, then we would have double of everything. And that's kind of stupid. And then he was like, whoa. And he started making fun of me. And then he said,
that's how I sounded.
But
well, like
that's exactly how you sounded. And then he's like, but I was thinking about it and I just realized like you're not even that bad to be. And I was like, I don't know, like I feel like it's a compliment and kind of like a slap in the face too at the same time. Or maybe to like funny. Somebody else. Like maybe somebody else was really bad to be around and he was just expecting that of me. I don't know.
Well, maybe. I'll tell you. I mean, we talked about my last live-in situation, how crazy that was, and how psycho that was.
Yeah, I heard it all, and that was woo.
So yeah, that was my last thought of living with somebody.
Gosh. At least the rent was good.
Yes. Yes, it was. All right. This video is super long. I gotta edit a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's us. Ladies, if you out here trying to find a man, coming from a man's point of view, like the games don't really work. If you feel like you have to monitor your responses, the time length of your responses, or guys that as well, because I mean I've done that too. If you have to do that, like just move on. Trust me. I feel like it would be better to put your energy into someone who's trying to put their energy into you. That's just me. That will be a much funner experience if you feel like it's one-sided or I don't know. Like I've never felt like I've ever was going to win somebody over. Like I'm not. Like if we would have tried to date and you would have been like skeptical, oh, I don't know about this guy, like he needs to wow me, like we wouldn't have worked. because I ain't got the time. I'm not here wilding nobody. Like if somebody's here and they're interested in me and the same way I'm interested in them, then I will. They'll get the wow. I don't know. It's all about who's really putting in effort. So
That's true.
if they're not putting in effort, like just move on. Like there's so many people. Just
clearly
go.
Hundreds.
Yeah. Just go on. I mean, you ain't even got to go on a dating app. You can go to the bar. You go see a whole bunch of people.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. But if you're in the Bay Area, sorry, men out here, but you guys got a bad rap. I know.
you know what's crazy about that? Because every time I would match with someone in the Bay, or every time I would come to the Bay and my profile would like pick up on in the Bay Area, like I just got instant matches, like bam, 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 bam. Or like, because usually when a man swipes right, like he can swipe. Like me and my friend, we used to do this thing. Like I'm gonna see how many times I can swipe right until I get a match. And then she did it, and it was match, 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 match. Like it's different. Like it's just different for men. So when I came out here and I was swipe right, like it was match, match. I was like, dang, what is it? But I guess that makes sense. Like women in the Bay don't want to necessarily date men from the Bay. I don't know if that's a thing, or if Bay Area men got a rap. I don't know.
I don't know if it was a thing, but it was a thing for me, and I know a lot of my friends who thought the same. It was a thing. Like out here, there's just, I don't know, maybe there's so many options that they just, I mean, I don't know. Or maybe it was just bad timing. Could have been that too. But I always felt like I was a really good catch. Like I cared about the way I looked, I worked out, I have a good job, like I pay my bills. I'm not asking somebody to like take me out and necessarily like wine me and dine me all the time. I just want somebody who's gonna put in the same freaking effort that I'm gonna put in, and like, and honestly, like there has to be like the chemistry too. So, and that's hard to find, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely hard to find. Man, what? Yo, Bay Area. Since I mean, right now this is my second channel. This ain't my first channel. This is my second, so it's a little smaller than my other one. So majority of the people who's probably watching are people who are interested in you because they know you. Okay, so I'm assuming that those people are from the Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bay Area people. What is the deal with all these break-ins in these people's cars? Like we went to San Francisco. I mean, we had super amounts of fun doing the little yellow cars, rode around in that one day. And like, I really wanted to go back and like do more stuff in San Francisco. But at this point, like, I don't even want to go to San Francisco no more.
Yeah. We saw a whole bunch of cars with broken windows that day too. But apparently it's gotten worse, like 75 a day or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's crazy. And then you got people like literally breaking in people's windows while they're driving. Like, yo. What is going on? Then for a while, people in Oakland was getting shot at on the freeway, and
yeah, like a random shooting.
I feel like we were having fun, but I don't. At this point, I'm like, man, what's going on?
Right, it's not good.
No, and it sucks because like San Francisco is like a place where. You go to San Francisco, there's always something fun to do. You can always go out there and have a great day, take pictures. But now it's like, I don't know. I've been in San Francisco a lot. I used to live in San Francisco. And I ain't trying to go to San Francisco just because I don't want to deal with the break-ins. I mean, I guess we could Uber someplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to get my car window broken.
Nah. I don't know. I feel like the police ain't doing nothing. I feel like the citizens need to take it upon themselves to start handling their problems. And I guarantee you these break-ins don't. That's just me, but just saying that's one of the main reasons why I don't want to go. So I see somebody broke in my car, like, I don't know, you might be bailing me out because it's going to be a situation. So anyways, all right, well, I don't know what we coming with next. Hopefully,
Christmas. Might be
Christmas. Okay.
We were gonna react to things too, but we have to find some stuff to like react to.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing a little more just stuff. than just sitting here telling you how she is doing. Like we're gonna, I mean, if you notice in the last couple of videos, we've been going out doing stuff. The cookies were good, but I got over the cookies in like 3 days. Like I don't want to see another cookie. I'm glad we didn't go to that second place because that would have been too many cookies. I only got 6. Actually, they gave me 7. They gave me 1 extra on accident.
Oh.
Yeah, and no, I don't want to see a cookie at least for another month. All right, she's yawning, y'all. We gotta
Sorry.
Get no,
I'm tired. Time for a nap.
Facts. Anyways, I gotta go do this other video for my other channel. So, if y'all are into music and y'all want to learn how to make it, I'll leave a link to that channel down below. Other than that, for the thumbnail. All right, we out, y'all. Peace.